Okay, guys, I got Robert Sager, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Mr. Facebook Live trainer, help, resource guy for Sierra Interactive. So, I asked Robert, number one, for those of you that have not met him and have not been into the Facebook group and have not been on your Facebook Live sessions, right? This is a good opportunity for you guys to learn. And then the second thing I asked is that Robert would just share with us kind of what are the 5 or 6 or whatever biggest things that the average real estate agent who signs up for Sierra Interactive is not using that would improve their performance, make them better at websites, CRM. So I'd love to, first introduce you, Robert, and then also let's get into some of these things that, some of these agents who've just kind of signed up but never really did anything. Like, what are they really need to be paying attention to and leveraging? So, So, Robert, any intro from you, background? If not, you can just jump in either way.
Yeah, absolutely, Patrick. It's great to be with you. Robert Sagers. I'm the product manager at Sierra Interactive. I do spend a lot of time with clients, learning about the kinds of things that would make them more successful, and then spending a lot of time internally with our team talking about the next features to build. What is it that we can make in our platform that's going to help our clients succeed? That's our ultimate goal. That's what we want to do. We spend a lot of time learning and thinking about how is it that we can enable success. That's what we're all about. So our platform we've built over the course of many years, front-end website, back-end CRM, that has been demonstrated time and time again to help people succeed and do really well in their business and in their lives. And that's our goal. That's what I try to do. And you mentioned the mastermind group that we have. It's exclusive for Sierra clients, as well as a few folks who work closely with our clients. We're up well over 1,100 members now. And it's a really great organic community. I mean, it's so helpful. The different clients even just stepping in to help and assist one another. There's just a very sweet spirit about it. People who are wanting to help and assist and guide and direct. So whether you're coming into the real estate profession or maybe the platform, CRM, website, world for the first time, even if you've been in real estate for a long time, regardless, maybe you've been, you've tried every platform out there and you've experienced every single one of them. It's a nice group, a nice community, which I hope you found too, Patrick, that is very helpful, and you're going to learn, you're going to be able to share experience, and we help each other succeed.
Yeah, and ask a lot of good questions. I will make a point to all of my coaching clients, Robert, that I've been making just a general point to validate what you're saying. A lot of my friends and coaching clients, I pretty much exclusively only use groups on Facebook right now.
Okay.
And my enjoyment of Facebook has gone skyrocketing because I got Sierra Interactive group. I've got the Tom Ferry Interactive group. I've got my own little private group. I've got like my dog group. Like I literally have, I have the Tom Ferry coaching group, the Tom Ferry coaches group. And it's actually raised my level of enjoyment around Facebook by just literally there's a new group settings button in Facebook. And I just go there and look at the feed, and I've really actually, it's just fun. So for those of you that you're like, I hate Facebook or whatever, like groups is it. And last year, Mark Zuckerberg basically announced that Facebook was like focused on groups, because that's really where social interaction is occurring with like-minded folks. So for those of you that haven't really kind of bridged that gap with groups yet, not only is Sierra Interactive group awesome, but like just get that going in your business. Now, for all of us real estate agents, like, man, I got Lab Code Agent group. There's so many awesome groups. It's fun. Like I'm having a great time just in groups, pretty much not doing anything else. So then I'm liking, comment, more engaged there. So please, guys, get into the Sierra Interactive group. If you're in Tom Ferry, get in the Tom Ferry Sierra Interactive group. And I'm just trying to get the engagement going there, right? And we'll post this in there.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Yeah. So thanks, Robert. Thanks for bringing that up. But let's keep going, because this is not about me. It's about you.
Hey, so Sierra, we've been around for about 12 years, and I just want to share my screen. Are you good with that, Patrick?
Go.
I want to talk about some things. You invited me to speak about some things that maybe folks don't know about, or things that could help them better succeed. And so I would love to just walk through a few of those things, and I'll start hammering fast. If you want me to slow down and go into anything into more detail, happy to do it. Let me pull up my list here of various things I think that can help our clients succeed. All right, very first, you'll see on the homepage, this is a pro site. This is what the majority of our clients come in with. It is a really nice website that converts and does well, you'll see. But down here at the bottom, this is really what I want to point out. This is one of the features with our content management system that you can do. You can do these really nice photo galleries. And so you'll see this is just a content page that shows up on the home page. You can do this on any content page on your site. And it's really simple in the back end. When you're creating these community pages, which again are simple, you can create a content page where you write a short description about a neighborhood, a community, a subdivision. It depends on how hyper local you want to get. I know you've really emphasized those things in your business, Patrick. You can create these community pages. You can embed a save search. It's super simple and straightforward, but you can also see that here on the screen, there's also a photo, and then you can see just this little snippet of a short description here. If I come in and edit it, any content page that's got a community page, I can add, well, any page, you can add these page defaults. This photo, a short description, and then I can add a content label, and then within any content page, I can add this new page component, pull in links from a content label, and when I do that, I've got these different display styles. I can show just the links that will point to these different content pages, and then links with photo background, which is what I was just displaying on the home page of the site. And then there's also this option of a link with a photo and description. It'll pull in that short description. This is going to help folks stay on your site longer. It makes your site look more modern, more beautiful. So it's going to help with that SEO in terms of time on site. And it's very, very simple and straightforward to be able to do so and make something just like this.
Yeah, Robert, I love that. And I just recently learned that. A quick question, sorry, and I don't mean to make this about me, but I've been trying, and I think I hit you up with a question. When we display a save search on a page, it's really long. And I've been trying to think through in terms of maybe a blog post. I would love to have like this, but like 3 blocks across that were all like maybe community or almost like come see like new listings, luxury listings, price reduced listings, that if it was in the middle of a blog post, it's almost like an ad in the middle of my blog post, but it wouldn't be so darn long. Right. Is that something we could talk offline, but like I would like to explore that with you later. So keep going. I'm gonna shut up.
And that's the kind of stuff.
I'm gonna zip it and keep going because this is cool. But
you don't have to zip it. And here's the thing about that, Patrick, is that in my role, one of the things that I get to do, and I am so genuinely grateful to get to do, is to help build this product. And the way that we build it is we hear feedback just like that. Hey, this would be helpful. Here's the reason why. We may not implement it in exactly the way that it's said, but we take that, we construct it, and we say, okay, what would be the most helpful for the most people? What would be the simplest way to implement it? What would really make an impact for our clients? And that's where we get those ideas, is from things just like this.
Yeah, because I've been looking at, like, I would be more apt to spend money to advertise my blog post if I had an attractive call to action in my blog post. That if I'll spend the money, push that blog post, drive people back to my site. If they click that link and I'm getting registrations, right, then I'll advertise my blog post all day long, right, and advertise that content, because then it's content into a listing, into a registration. So if I can get that done, that'd be awesome. But let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
You see where I'm going?
Absolutely. Let's keep going. Let's continue that conversation offline.
Sorry, guys. My bad.
All good. This is great. And Patrick, one of the nice things about Patrick, for you all who know him, you know this, he is a learner. And the people who come into our platform, and maybe just generally in life, who have that great combination of humility as well as curiosity, those are the ones who really succeed well with our platform, because they want to know more, they want to learn how to do it, and they come with a certain mentality and mindset of like, teach me or show me, or I want to learn. And there's lots to learn.
Oh yeah.
All right. So here is I just picked a random content page. This is a demo site, so it's not anything polished, and so just keep that in mind. But over here on the side, this is what's called a sidebar, and maybe some of you know that, but one of the nice things about a Sierra site is that you can customize the sidebars, and it's really easy. You can do it on a content page by content page basis. You could do it on a section by section basis. You could just modify the sidebar that's going to show across the site, and so that'll allow you to do things like post small little adverts for your vendor partners, maybe your preferred lender, things like this. And that's very simple within the content manager as well. And here we'll need to come on back. go to content, and we go to sidebars, and this is where we can create these. And so you can see there's a default one for a lender, and you just simply click to add a sidebar and start adding these various container types with links or custom content, a quick search, displaying today's listings, pulling up some recent blog posts, and various things here as well. So again, a nice little feature to help pull people hanging out on your site, linking across your site, as well as just putting the kind of information that would be most helpful for your site visitors to be able to see, because that's one of the things you want to do with your website. When people do come to your website, you want to keep them on your website. You want to keep them within kind of the ecosystem that you are presenting for them. And one of the ways you're gonna be able to do that is put custom content. Custom sidebars allow you to do that. Third thing.
Is it in the future? And I think one of my coaching clients and I were talking about this on this, and thank you for showing the sidebar things. It's cool. For like, if I wanted to do my relocation guide, buyer's guide, seller's guide, that's in that sidebar where they can click on it and then they can kind of download, or like they can give me an email to download. I know there's a form that they can fill out, right? But is there like a auto send form, or is that something that we don't need to talk about it now, but I just want to make sure I wrote it down in my notes.
Sure.
That I want.
It's a great note. Yeah, no, one of the ways that you can do that right now is you can essentially create a content page that has that, for example, PDF to download, or you can do a contact form and you could, follow up with an email. So you got a couple different options, but one of them, so one is you can create a contact form. You can add a tag to anybody who fills out that contact form, and that will you can enable registration from that contact form. So then within your lead routing rules, you can route that lead by the tag if tag equals buyer form. And then you can send an autoresponder or even, assign an action plan that will send to them that will then have that information for them to be able to see. It's going to have that PDF in an email or in whichever way that you need to deliver it. So there are definitely options. The other one is you could actually have a content page where you post it into the content page itself, hide it, essentially don't link to it anywhere in your site. Nobody's going to really find it. Create a tracking link to that page that will force registration in order to be able to get to it. So you got a couple different options to be able to do it. All right, you ready to move on? I think you're on mute, Patrick.
Sorry, I was just telling Christine that I'm on an interview, so she should, Christine, come back at 10:45.
Come back, Christine.
She needs to get on at CR Interactive anyway, so she could watch this too.
Yeah, come on, stay with us, huh?
All right.
The third thing I would love to tell you. Okay, so if I'm visiting a site, right? So I'm just here on the site, I'm not logged in, and I head to a property. You can force registration on property views, but here we are, we're looking at it, and here we've got, so we'll go ahead and, fake register, right? And it would look a little bit different with social registration if, this was a real site that was secure, but it's not. So here we go. Okay, so we're logged in. So in the back end, and this is super simple to do, in the global site settings, you can actually, there's this little floating widget on a property detail page, and you can display your contact information or the schedule a tour option, or schedule a tour with contact information. So
I'll just chat. Thank you.
I'll go ahead and just choose the third option. So it's going to display both. So it'll now automatically dynamically refresh into the front end of your site. So here we are, and we're on this property detail page, and you can see now as I come on down and I'm on this property, I'm looking at it, and as I start scrolling down to find more information, you'll see this little widget floats down with me. I can see the contact information of my assigned agent. It will display a photo if there's a photo uploaded, right?
Hey.
And then there is also this option for, and this is really important, I think, right now at this time in the world, you can schedule a tour and they'll hang out with you, but it can be in person, probably not as many people doing that right now, or video chat. So you do have it down here as well. Somebody can grab an ASAP time, or maybe Saturday, they'd love to connect with you about scheduling a tour via video chat. So we have already seen that this has been helpful for our clients. It's a fairly new update. It's one of the things that we wanted to do to adapt for our clients so that they could adapt for their clients. That is, folks aren't really scheduling these appointments to go see properties in person, right? So now you have the option to receive their communications to say, I want to see this property. Is there any way we can work out something where we could do a FaceTime call or something along those lines? And so this is going to help, I think, and it already has helped clients to
I
get
love it.
more appointments
I think
scheduled.
it's genius, and I think everybody needs to get over there and make that change right away. Robert, can I throw one more thing out at you?
Bring it on.
Because you're the man, the myth, the legend. Okay. And I was always confused. So whenever the public gets free resources online, where they get free access to information, the expectation is that there will be ads within that experience. That's just a natural expectation. The thing that drives me crazy is we give free access most of the time to all these listings that people flow through videos, but there's no ad in any of our listings. Now you've got 2, which is great. It's a call to action. But in terms of the photos, why can't we put that like in the middle if they're in the photo gallery?
Yeah.
So if I'm going, if I'm on photo number 4, why isn't photo number 4, a picture of me like, would you like to see it?
Me.
Or
would you want to see it in person?
Like,
video chat?
Yeah, like what do you want to do?
It's almost as though that's a really good idea. No, that's something that's definitely on our radar, and we want to be able to do absolutely, and essentially give you the option of, hey, after X photos, display Y, right?
Totally.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, and I don't need, I mean, if whatever, I'll get off the soapbox, but I just think that conceptually people expect an ad when free content's there, but in real estate we have such a low amount of conversion off of the listing content, and so I feel like that's a mistake, right? So anyways, I would love that, and what I'd really love to do is kind of put our buyer guide, our seller guide, or I'd love to put my like set a buyer consultation, a buyer consultation video. I'd like to do some cool stuff so I can really educate, entertain, and build my personal brand with people who are just looking at property, and just kind of give them an opportunity to learn more about me and get more resources. So,
and you'd want to insert that into the flow of the photos.
Hell yeah, because that's where everybody's at. That's where they're at. They're there. They're flipping through there. So, if I, let's just put it into context. I bought a lot of leads with a previous platform. And over the course of 2 to 3 years, I had over 500 people looking at hundreds and hundreds of listings, and there was never a call to action, and I never got, the platform never fed me an action with a client. And in my opinion, that is a disaster.
No, you're giving me some good ideas because, you definitely see various things out there into the big world where you see various,
in the real world, right? If no digital marketer on the planet, they would be fired if I had probably 20,000 views on a web page and there was 0 notifications, call to actions, requests. There's 0. That digital marketer would have been fired and blackballed in the entire world if anyone had that much activity with that 0 of a result. So
let's see if we can't make something like that happen, huh?
Okay, so I'm giving you some energy, some content. Like, let's get that done, because if I could, I could easily get a couple thousand people looking at listings in my marketplace, but I don't want to repeat that again. Right, where 1,000 people are looking, and I have no ability to really effectively market them on the platform.
Now, what do you do for registration requirements? If somebody
I'm automatic registration, and I learned that lesson, and I've been seeing that lesson a lot. So for everybody, you have to set it at 0, right? So Rob, you want to show us that real fast?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go to the same place in the goal site settings. It's essentially the way that that registration is taken into account is based on these property detail page views.
Yeah.
So what Patrick is saying when he says set it as 0, we, for our clients, delineate between pay-per-click traffic, like paid traffic, Google Ads campaigns, and then all other traffic. You meet somebody and you say, hey, head to my website, search for lovablehomes.com or whatever. And that's like an all other traffic. They type it in, they find you on Google, you've ranked well organically. And this is what the number he's talking about. So that as soon, if it's at 0, as soon as somebody attempts to view, they can read every blog post you write, they can they can run 1 million searches, they can, take a look at every single content page throughout your site. As soon as they attempt to view a property detail page like this, that's when that registration requirement will come into play, just as we even saw for this. And again, a demo site, the registration overlay looks different with a demo site that's not actually out into the world, but because they'll have social login, Google, Facebook, but you'll see that little registration overlay show up. And so in order to get access to this property, to see the information, somebody would need to register as a lead on your site.
Yeah, and so Robert, just to address that with a lot of my friends out there and the concerns. So it's taken me a while to come to the conclusion that 0 is the absolute mandatory decision. And part of that journey of coming to that conclusion, because I didn't think that in the beginning, right, is really what happened is I started doing some research with all my coaching clients, homes for sale and city name. And I was seeing lots of very successful SEO optimized websites that were ranking really high in some very expensive competitive searches for some specific marketplaces. I'd go onto their website. It was totally loaded with unbelievable content. I'd flip through 10, 15 listings, and literally it would never ask me to register. I'd jump off. I never got retargeted. That real estate agent literally spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and they are losing money hand over fist. And this is, I think, Robert, is part of the reason why kind of SEO as a strategy got a bad rap, is because everyone didn't understand you've got to have 0 as your registration. Because if you're going to have SEO and you're going to drive free traffic, you better register that lead. And you better register them at 0. And I think it started to hit me hard, like, oh my gosh. Like there is some websites right now that are set up with other companies that are ranking and getting, Robert, I saw a site and I looked it up on, it's getting like 5,400 organic views a month. And that lady is not selling any homes. Yeah. We looked her up, right, and she's not registering anyone.
Yeah,
like,
and that's the thing.
It's like, so I just need to make sure everybody is crystal clear.
Yeah.
Like, I already did the research. Trust me, you need to set it at 0. Okay?
So what we say is that absolutely best practice, like not even a suggested, best practice is for paid traffic. You set it at 0. Otherwise, I mean, you're paying for these people to come to your site, right? Why would you not try to capture the information? Otherwise, you are leaving leads on the table. For the organic traffic, people have different perspectives on that. I mean, even amongst our client base, we see that. But what Patrick is saying is correct insofar as if you are in the lead generation mindset, you're wanting to generate leads, then it would be highly suggested that you set that registration requirement at 0 for both types of traffic, paid and otherwise.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Keep going. You're awesome. Keep going.
Speaking of, so we're gonna start skipping the rock a little bit. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit less deep, but I'm still gonna hit some points.
You're all right. Keep going.
Google Ads campaigns. We were just talking about this. Driving paid traffic. That is not necessarily something that all of our clients are going to want to manage themselves. In fact, I would say almost none of them. Now, some will. They'll say, I'm good at this, and they are good at it, and they'll do it. But the nice thing is that Sierra is good at it. We've got a team dedicated to it, and we'll do it for you just as part of your monthly subscription. So there's no set cost for us to manage those campaigns. There's no cut from your budget. All you do is supply the budget. We'll handle the campaigns. We will generate leads for you. And it's not required of you, but it's highly suggested because we're good at it, and we'll work with you to make it so that your campaigns are where you want them to be at a budget that feels good for you.
Yeah, and while you're setting that up, let me just make one statement. Okay, all of the other major platforms are charging you guys 20 to 30%, actually 50% I'm not going to mention the name, but it starts with a K. And their stupid service is taking 50% of your ad spend to set up your Google Ads pay-per-click campaign. 50%? That is highway robbery, right? And they're terrible at it. And they didn't even give the dashboard to my client. They didn't even show her what the money was doing. They didn't show her anything. They just took 50% of her money and gave her nothing in return. So guys, the fact that these guys are doing it for free as a part of your service and doing it well is amazing. So
And
Robert, keep going.
Glad you mentioned the last point, is because it's not like we're just kind of out there rummaging, the bottom of the barrel to get people for you. We're going to give you transparent reporting as well. And that's another thing that you may not find everywhere. We're going to send you a report that's like, hey, here's what's going on with those campaigns. So you can feedback about, hey, it doesn't look like this really is working this area. Let's modify, and those types of things. So we try and be very transparent with what we do.
And everybody should be paying close attention to
this is your money.
AdWords keywords, and they should be learning a little bit about keywords.
Sure.
We're learning a little bit about traffic flows, what traffic flows are coming into their market, and kind of where's the higher traffic, making sure you're setting up a content page, making sure you're setting up a saved search, and making sure Sierra is helping you set up some ads for those keywords. So I was just talking to one of my coaching clients, Robert, and we were looking at the school district, because it's a high, like everybody searches by that school district. And so I was like, let's load up a Google ad for all of the words, the key terms for that school district, because there was zero competition, and we could put a real estate homes for sale in that school district ad in front of all that traffic. And it was about 1,500, the volume was about 1,500, about 4 keywords, right? And literally we could be putting an ad in front of that with zero competition. And the buyer leads are high intent, and she's a rock star of that community. Literally the average sales price is $2 million. I mean, she could be doing 5 to 10 transactions a year just with that one little niche strategy, and literally making, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Right. Like, it's a no-brainer. So I'm going to shut up. Sorry.
No apology needed. So when you get those leads who register, organic, paid, however it is that they come in, you can route them in a really sophisticated and robust way. So here's our lead routing. And each of these are lead routing rules. This is what's called a hierarchical system. So if you can imagine, this is like a highway, and every lead that comes into your site is like a driver on the highway, and all you're doing with your lead routing rules is routing traffic. And you're saying, okay, this person came from this place, they drive this kind of car, they're going to get off on this off-ramp, they're never going to come back on the highway. That's the off-ramp's the lead routing rule, the car, and where they came from is the driver. And so you've got this ability to set a number of different criteria. You can add more than one. So you can, if the lead is in a certain price range, a certain area, zip code, if they're looking at a specific MLS number, you can go ahead and route them in a specific kind of way. And again, you can add more than one. You can do it based on days and time. And then, so everything above that gray line is the if, everything below is then. Get the logic. You've got a number of different ways to distribute them, including ways that you can ring yourself or other people on your team with the Sierra Dialer, which is integrated fully into the platform. And you can then auto-assign a lender, a tags, a fully automated action plan, traditional action plan, drip campaign. You can auto-assign an e-alert, an auto-created e-alert, a market update, and so forth. So you have a lot of very sophisticated ways in which you can route your leads. The most I've seen, I haven't checked in on this client recently, but I think he had over 80 lead routing rules.
Wow.
If you've got 80, you either have no idea what you're doing or you have every idea of what you're doing. And this client, I think, falls into that latter category, very dialed in. But you don't have to do any of that, right? If you're a single agent or whatever, you can just auto-assign every lead to yourself. You can do a general, generic follow-up plan, etc. But you have the option to go super, super detailed and deep with lead routing. All right, so skipping a rock really quickly, you can also utilize our lead pond functionality, which is newer, and I don't have enough time to go deeply into this, but especially if you're a broker, this is a really nice way to manage your team as they manage leads. It's going to give access to your individual agents to come in and start working leads. and then request to claim them out of the pond. Our tags manager, it's a really nice way to be able to manage leads is to apply tags. You can apply them automatically through your lead routing rules, the tracking links. If a lead submits something via a specific contact form, you can apply that tag to that lead and track them all the way through. You can also manually apply them, and you can make it so that your agents can't unapply specific leads. So tags are a really nice way that some of our clients have found to manage their leads in the lead dashboard. And so we've got this lead dashboard, and all these items right up here are what are called smart filters. It allows you to toggle from filter to filter to filter in the way that you like to work. So you can simply run an advanced search, and we've got a ton of different advanced search options. You can add 1 criteria, you could add 1,000 criteria to save even those criteria as 1 smart filter or 1,000,000 smart filters. You can set something as a default smart filter so that every time I want to log in, for example, I'm set up with no task scheduled as just an example. So the lead dashboard is also where you can apply bulk actions, like bulk apply an action plan, bulk unassign an action plan. But if you've got stuff going on like now, you can mass manage your tags, shoot off a mass email, shoot off a mass text, a mass voicemail drop. You can add all your leads to a call list and work more efficiently. I want to mention the single property sites. This is a feature that I think more of our clients could take advantage of. Every account, you can create up to 100 of these. The only cost to them is the cost for the domain. And you can also just buy 1 domain and create subdomains out of them. So you could, do 100 of these for $10 or whatever, right? And these are really nice for listing presentations and also just to help, market a property. And you can add multiple video tours. You can upload your high definition photos and really customize this. You can run metrics on this. You can add Google Analytics.
Where do we find that in the settings? Can you show us that?
Robert,
I got a group coming in coming in hot in 1 minute. So
yeah, absolutely. We're landing this plane together.
Let's wrap this
right here, property sites. And it's really simple just to work through a layout in right here. So just add a new site and you just work down these tabs one by one by one.
Oh, that's
I want to mention Zapier. For those of you who are into automation, we have a Zap with lots of triggers and actions. And it would be unfortunate if I didn't mention our partner platform. If you are not somebody who wants to, write your own action plans or kind of figure out lead management, like a whole system and a framework yourself, we have an integrated partner platform with partners like GGMS, the Gallagher Group Marketing Suite, GGMS Coaching, and Hatch Coaching, where you can actually import the plans directly into your account and work with them more closely. It just integrates where Sierra is the hub.
Can we, when we come back, Robert, and we'll shut it down now because I got another group coming in. I really want to look at that listing because I think that'd be really valuable right now to be able to pull that off with the 3D tour, create our own, especially in this whole COVID environment. Mm-hmm. But that was really very valuable. Robert, let's shut down. I'm going to stop my recording and